Hey guys, welcome to another episode and recap of New Zealand's biggest gap year, where a few years ago Robin and I did an epic challenge around New Zealand doing 365 days of 365 activities. And on day 199, Robin and I take a scenic flight from Lake Tekapo to the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. So check out the video to see the experience. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go through some of the comments and questions you guys had during the first time that we published the video. So I'll see you guys toward the end. It's a super clear day here at Lake Tekapo, which can only be a good thing because today we're joining air safaris for a scenic flight over the Southern Alps. We're going to be taking a 15-minute flight from Lake Tekapo, going over the lake and into the backbone of the South Island, which is the mountain range called the Southern Alps. Right in the heart of that is Aoraki Mount Cook, the highest mountain in New Zealand. So while we're waiting for our flight, we're watching the pilots really take good care of the planes, and then we are introduced to our pilot called Leon, and we get into a really well-designed plane where all the seats are a window seat. That's ideal, and all the windows are super wide. They even bent out a little as well, so you can fit your camera between your face and the window.
Our pilot is going to give us commentaries throughout our entire flight, and first up is introducing us a little bit to the area that we are flying above at the moment, which is Lake Tekapo. We're seeing the power station, which is an entirely sustainable power station that feeds power to a big part of the region, as well as to Lake Tekapo itself, which is this stunning, beautiful turquoise blue lake, which is absolutely iconic in this area. We've spent a lot of time on the shores of Lake Tekapo in the last couple of days to take heaps of pictures of this beautiful lake, and we are stoked to be able to see it from above in all its glory. The most prominent features of Lake Tekapo is this bright blue turquoise color, and the reason why it has this color is because of all the sediment, which is rock flour, which comes down from all the glaciers that we spent the last few weeks visiting. Lake Tekapo is in the heart of the Mackenzie district, which is a huge farming area for New Zealand. New Zealand's #1 industry is farming, and you can see it from here. Almost everything that we can see are actually farmland. But this is the more tame sceneries that we're going to be seeing during our flight before we move on to the beautiful, rugged peaks of the Southern Alps.
We're now following the Godley River into the Southern Alps, and it's only from above that you can appreciate the amazing braided patterns of the river. This whole valley is about 4 kilometers wide. However, these rivers start to get smaller and smaller as we move into the more icy regions of the Southern Alps. At first, the mountains just have a dusting of snow, but soon enough, we get into the real snowy peaks where we are surrounded by huge glaciers. Some of New Zealand's largest glaciers are right here in the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. The first glacier that Leon is pointing out to us is the Murchison Glacier, which is about 16 kilometers long. It's super huge, but nowhere near as huge as the Tasman Glacier, which is actually the longest glacier in New Zealand at around 23 kilometers. With all this super extreme scenery, we are all glued to the windows of the plane just behind our cameras because this is absolutely amazing. This scenery is pretty much what everyone comes to New Zealand for, just to see this extreme environments that features in loads of different films like The Lord of the Rings, but it's right here in front of our own eyes.
We are now crossing the divide, which is the separation between the east coast and the west coast of the South Island. And from there we can see a massive separation in between the different weather and environment of both areas. The west coast is well known to have more of a rainforest and a bit more of a rainy kind of weather, while the east coast is a bit more of a drier area with some beautiful farmlands and a lot of sunshine. And from above we can see that difference very striking right in front of our eyes. But beyond the glaciers and the beautiful snowy peak, the crown jewel of the Southern Alps is Mount Cook. It is New Zealand's tallest mountain, standing at 3,724 meters above sea level, and no flight around the Southern Alps would be complete without checking it out. Our pilot is truly giving us heaps of insight about everything that we are seeing during this flight. He has a wealth of knowledge about every single geological feature of the Southern Alps, and it's really impressive to learn so much during such a short flight. It's kind of hard to realize when our pilot is finally turning back and start making our way to the Lake Tekapo area. We really want to keep on flying around the Southern Alps forever. The views are absolutely fantastic.
The good thing though is that we're actually taking a different route on the way back, this time following the Hooker Valley on the way out of the Southern Alps. We get to see more of the beautiful Mackenzie Basin, which sort of covers the area of Twizel, Lake Tekapo and Mount Cook National Park. This means more beautiful, vibrant lakes, more lush farmland, and more awesome photo opportunities. By this point, my SD card on my camera is literally on fire. As we're coming into landing back at the Lake Tekapo airport, Robin and I just can't help but talk about how awesome this flight was. I feel like we've spent most of the time up in the air as we've been around the Aoraki Mount Cook area, but really that is the best way to see this awesome scenery.
And this concludes our time in the beautiful Lake Tekapo area. We really loved it. We really loved spending so much time around the Southern Alps, flying above it. And tomorrow we're going to be leaving, making our way to the little township of Fairley. But we are not going to be leaving Lake Tekapo without checking out its most iconic building. It's the Church of the Good Shepherd, and it is probably the most photographed building in New Zealand.
So it's amazing how you can actually understand the geography. So it's amazing how you can understand the geography. Fucking hell. So it's amazing how you can understand the geography of the place so much better when you are looking from above down below. I know, I couldn't say it. Geological. So it's amazing how you can see the... Okay, start again. I don't even want to say this sentence anymore. Stupid. So it's amazing how you can understand the geological features. So, Robin, you ruined it!
We can see all kind of like the fucking hell! Geological features. So we can see all the geologic. All right. All right, so we get to see, fucking hell.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and that really stunning scenery from New Zealand. Now I'm going to go through some of the comments and questions you guys had from when we published the video the first time around. We have Chasing Adelaine that says, "That is awesome, it looks so amazing to see everything from so high. Seeing the mountain is beautiful also, nice big window in the plane is awesome." Yes, I absolutely agree. The design of the plane itself was really, really clever and really like the perfect way to do it for a scenic flight in New Zealand. We also have a bit of a cheeky comment from Ross Finlayson saying, "By this point the SD card in my camera was literally on fire. You mean figuratively, not literally. If your camera were on fire, then it would be a major airborne emergency." Yes, it would. Sometimes we just don't know what we're saying half the time. Anyway, and we also got a comment from Fran saying, "Which is better, Mount Cook flights or Lake Tekapo?" So if you saw from a few days earlier in New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, we did some scenic flights in Mount Cook as well. And as you can see from both videos, we are going into the same national park to do some scenic flights over that same sort of landscape. So obviously they are very similar, and so the way that I would choose between the two experiences is, well, if you're going to Mount Cook anyway, I think some of the flights there are a little bit cheaper than taking the flight from Lake Tekapo. So if you're going to Mount Cook anyway, doing a few hikes there and a few other different experiences, then you might as well go and do the scenic flight from Mount Cook. But if you aren't taking the about an hour detour off the main highway to get to Mount Cook and you are just passing through Lake Tekapo, then this scenic flight from Lake Tekapo is the perfect way to actually get to see Mount Cook without taking the lengthy trip to get there. So that's how I would make the decision between the two. Alright guys, I hope you found that video useful, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button to say thanks, and if you have any comments or questions of your own, you can pop them in the comments section below, or head over to our live Q&A session, which we do every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. And if you want to know what time that will be for you guys, well, you might as well just click on that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get some notifications from when we do our live session. And if you need any more New Zealand travel information 24/7, you can head over to nzpocketguide.com, which is our travel guide and the largest travel guide for New Zealand. So you'll find lots of free information for planning your trip over on the website. All right, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video for day 200.